The sound of rain had become constant, like static woven into the world. For 3 days, it hadn't stopped. Soft at times, heavy at others, a rhythm that filled every silence Aaron Walker tried to escape. The voicemail still sat in her phone, unplayed since that night on the bridge, yet its presence felt alive. Every time she tried to delete it, the screen froze. Every time she turned the phone off, it turned itself back on. By the 4th night, sleep had become impossible. The storm outside felt personal now, as though something was whispering within it. The air inside her house was colder, too still, like the atmosphere before an earthquake. She began to notice small changes. Objects slightly moved, lights that dimmed without cause, and always her phone glowing faintly as if breathing on its own. At 2:16 a.m., exactly the same time as before, the screen lit up once more. This time there was no new voicemail, only a replay notification for the old one. The same timestamp, the same recording, but the audio length had changed. It was now 22 seconds longer. Her fingers hovered over the play icon, trembling not from fear, but from a strange compulsion. She didn't want to hear it, but something inside her needed to. The recording began with the familiar hiss of static, layered beneath the faint echo of wind and water. Then something new, a low vibration, almost like the deep hum of a generator, rising slowly from below. The longer she listened, the more she realized it wasn't mechanical. It was rhythmic, deliberate, a pattern. The sound faded, replaced by what could only be described as distance itself, a hollow, endless tone that made her ears ache. Somewhere in that void, another noise broke through, a faint metallic scrape followed by a sound resembling a footstep. She turned off the phone immediately, but the sound didn't stop. It was still there, faint, muffled, echoing from somewhere beyond the walls of her home. She stood frozen in her living room, every muscle in her body locked in a primal kind of stillness. The air felt charged, alive, as though something had crossed over from the recording into the room. Outside, the rain intensified. Lightning flashed once, revealing her reflection in the window, pale, hollow-eyed, and behind her, a shape. Not human exactly, but familiar. Tall, broad-shouldered, positioned in a way that mimicked her late husband's frame. When darkness returned, the figure was gone. Aaron backed away, clutching the phone like it was both a weapon and a curse. On the lock screen, new text appeared where no notification should have been. Playback location updated. She unlocked it. The map app opened on its own, displaying a single pinpoint flashing red. The bridge again, but this time the coordinates extended into a series of smaller markers branching north along the river. It looked like a path. By the time dawn approached, she was already driving. The fog was thicker than before, swallowing headlights, bending sound. The world felt smaller, as though she was moving through a closed loop of reality. The same road, the same turns, again and again. The coordinates led her to a dirt access road below the main bridge. It was the kind of place few people ever visited, abandoned, overgrown, half swallowed by nature. The remnants of old guardrails rusted in the mud, bent from decades of neglect. She stepped out and followed the GPS marker on her screen. The closer she moved toward the riverbank, the more distorted the phone's compass became, spinning slightly as if confused by something unseen. The air was colder here, unnaturally so. Her breath rose in short clouds, twisting into the mist like smoke from an invisible fire. The river moved sluggishly, dark and reflective, catching what little light existed. Then she saw it, a small, sunken object tangled in reeds near the edge of the bank. She waded closer, her boots sinking into the wet soil. The shape became clearer. It was a phone, blackened, cracked, and half submerged in water. Her pulse quickened. It was the same model as Ryan's. The casing had been eroded by time and current, but the protective screen film remained, one she remembered applying herself months ago. She reached down to touch it. The moment her hand brushed against the device, her own phone buzzed violently in her pocket. She froze. The old phone screen flickered once, faintly, despite being clearly water-damaged beyond repair. Then came the sound. Soft, rising from the broken speaker, the same static she'd heard days before. It wasn't playing, it was emitting. Her phone vibrated again, this time opening the voicemail app automatically. The recording began without command, syncing perfectly with the hum from the riverbank. The two devices created a low resonance that made the ground itself tremble beneath her feet. She took a step back. The screen of her phone began to glitch, fragments of video appearing where only audio should exist. For a few seconds, the footage showed nothing but fog and water. Then a faint human shape appeared in the distance, standing exactly where she was now, facing her. The image rippled, then cut to black. Her hand shook as she backed away, but the environment didn't look the same anymore. The fog had thickened unnaturally fast, and the trees beyond seemed to shift positions each time she blinked. Every part of her wanted to run, yet something kept her there, a feeling that if she turned her back, she wouldn't be leaving the same place she came from. The sound of static grew louder. She dropped both phones. They continued to play on their own, syncing perfectly, creating an eerie harmony that vibrated through the water and air like a transmission from somewhere deep below. The river's surface began to ripple outward, slow at first, then faster, circular waves that broke against the shore. The vibration beneath her boots became rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat pulsing through the earth. Then everything stopped. The air went still, the water calmed. Silence, complete and unnatural, swallowed everything. When she finally looked down, both phones had gone dark. But before she could move, her own phone lit up again, without her touching it, displaying a single image, a still frame. It was a photo of the bridge from above, taken at night. She could see herself standing in the exact spot where she now stood. The timestamp in the corner read 2:16 a.m. The same time again. Her hands began to shake uncontrollably. She dropped the phone and stumbled backward toward her car, heart pounding so loud it drowned out everything else. She didn't look back until she was inside with the doors locked. When she finally glanced at the river one last time, the fog had thinned just enough to reveal something resting at the edge of the water. A jacket sleeve, pale and tattered, caught on the reeds. She drove away, not daring to look in the rearview mirror because deep down she knew if she did, the passenger seat wouldn't be empty. The voicemail had stopped playing, but the message hadn't ended.